The Battlefront 2 campaign is a good showing as to what the future of Star Wars single-player storytelling could be like, and for the most part it's an incredibly entertaining 6 to 7 hour ride, depending if you actually play it on a difficulty that isn't easy. However, it needed to prioritise its titular character because at times it stumbles, not because of the story, but because there's too little of what I wanted, despite enjoying every minute of it. For those of you who read Inferno Squad, you're going to know exactly who these characters are and what they're like, and for those of you who have read other books, like the Aftermath series for example, you're going to completely understand the story from the get-go. The game follows Iden Versio and Inferno Squad, and their response to the events of Operation Cinder, a plan devised by the Emperor to destroy the Empire should he be killed. If you want to learn more about Operation Cinder, go and read the Aftermath book series, it's all in there. Anyway, the game starts just before the events of the Battle of Endor, and it's an incredible opening. The first 3 or 4 levels are magnificent and had exactly what I was looking for, and it's all brilliantly brought to life. The animations, the cutscenes, the dialogue, the performances, the story all culminate together to create this splendid opening that couldn't be any better. It is a perfect representation of what a Star Wars story-driven shooter should be like. However, as the game goes on, it does begin to lose some of its spark. Not because there's a lack of quality, but because they're trying to tell too much story and they haven't got the time to do it. The game's length is about right, but the issue is that they've chosen to tell this big, open-wide, galaxy-spanning story, rather than a character-driven personal story, which is what this game needed. And that's the main issue. There's too much crammed into it, and so a big part of the story didn't even follow Iden. You're put into the boots of well-known heroes, and while this does make sense story-wise, there are some missions that just felt forced, so that they could bridge the gap between this point in this time and that point in that time 3 months later, and so on and so on. I'm not here to play as Luke Skywalker or Han Solo. I'm here to play as Iden Versio, and I want to learn more about Inferno Squad and their exploits in the Empire. These hero missions would have made more sense if we played as Iden or other members of Inferno, because they're present in most of them. And the thing is, Iden is an awesome character. She's got so many traits that make her unique, but we just don't get enough time with her. And the small character-driven moments with her are absolutely brilliant. I just wanted more Iden in a game about Iden. Although the story is at times pretty predictable, when you do play as Iden, the game thrives. Running around Bespin, Endor, Vardos and Jakku is brilliant. However, when you've just come off of the back of an awesome mission where you're destroying a rebel capital ship from within with Iden, it then shoots itself in the foot and takes you out of that imperialistic action by giving you a plain and simple mission playing as Luke. And don't get me wrong, it's fun. All the hero missions are really fun, which is great, but they're just put in place to bridge the main story, and most of them needed to be played from Iden's perspective. Either way, the story still had me hooked from beginning to end, and the ending has got me really excited for all of the free campaign DLCs coming later. I've also heard people say that you're just running around multiplayer maps doing objectives with story, which is absolute nonsense. The game is extremely cinematic, and it feels like a fitting Star Wars story that doesn't feel out of place, and it's the first game that I've played since maybe Knights of the Old Republic 2 or Republic Commando that actually has achieved this. Even though the objectives can feel a bit samey at times, it's necessary to the story. You can't have some sort of super unique gameplay mechanic when the story is simply prompting you to get to the TIE fighters and clear the rebels. To make it better, the gameplay is exemplary, the gunplay feels good, the flying is incredible, and overall the action is superb, and despite its flaws, it's still extremely entertaining, and I highly recommend it to all of you. If I had to give it a score, I would give the Battlefront 2 campaign a solid 8 out of 10. The story just needed more time developing Iden and her squad, instead of focusing on already established heroes. Although, if you are planning on completely ignoring the multiplayer, I don't know why you would do that, and playing the game just for campaign, ask yourself the question: Do you love Star Wars, or do you just like Star Wars? Your answer to that will probably be the deciding factor in whether you buy it or not. So tell me, have you played the Battlefront 2 campaign, and if you did, what did you think of it? If you enjoyed the review, hit the like button, and if you want to see more Battlefront 2 content, lore videos and a lot more, perhaps consider force choking that subscribe button and joining the 100% Star Wars family. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, may the Force be with you, always.